Hello everyone, I'm Xiao Gang. Okay, in this lesson, we'll add a bit more knowledge. You can see that in the engine, there's actually a FThreadSafeBool called FThreadSafeBool. It actually inherits a thread-safe technique from FRunnable. But the awkward thing is that the engine says, deprecate, please use std here, telling you to use std, but it's not necessary. You can still use this without any problem, because if you do a full search, you'll find it many places in the engine. Hey, think about it. In DiviLink, it also uses this place, and there's a lock here. Obviously, the lock controls the data. For this bool, you can see how it's written. Hey, you can see in this place, that's it. Why is the lock needed here? Because it's controlling data here, and it uses multiple methods for judgment here to ensure that there is no race condition and then the data can be modified. Sometimes we use this event. This event can be used to implement one thread activating another thread. To activate, wake up, or fire this thing. Okay, this thing, we will use it later as well. Then in this lesson, we will mainly talk about how we use this FThreadSafeBool, how we should write it. Okay, here, I'll use this to demonstrate for everyone. We come to this place. Okay, this place. What we need to do is we might need to create a new one. So we originally wrote it like this. That is also fine. It's through this kind of while loop method. If we reach this exit condition, it can just exit on its own. Now let's write another one. Let's call it simple trees bore. Then here we use FR. Can directly change it quickly. Okay, then at this point, we need to refresh. Okay, we refresh now. Once it's done carefully, we come to this ball place. We are at this place. Let's change the name. We'll just manually change it here. We can actually replace it. I'm afraid that when replacing, if my hand slips, it might move to another place. We can keep the other attributes unchanged. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at this place. Let's compile it and see if there are any issues. This place didn't stick. Okay, this place, it prompts that this is missing because we have an extra F. Okay, it has already been tokenized. Okay, so for this part, we'll use this ready-made safe save. Yeah, alright. We might need to include its header file, so let's include it here. And then here, FreadSafe. Let me check if there's a typo somewhere here. Indeed, there's a typo. Then we'll just paste it over. Let's try compiling it. Make sure it doesn't report any errors. Right, it just hasn't scanned it yet. Then we'll just change this part to this, and it'll be fine. And then we'll remove the other locks. Okay, alright, here, we no longer need this lock. We can just put this boolean here. So we confirm this place. It needs to be there. Then we check again. In case our 40 milliseconds of sleep exactly changes this condition, we need a break. This could also cause you to be executing. That is to say, when you execute this line of code, the condition might change, but you still have to do it afterwards. So when designing threads, consider whether it is necessary to make it more complete. Yes, good. Good, okay, so actually this method is how we implemented it using a thread-safe approach. Then let's go back to our subsystem and give it a simple test. It should be this one, this subsystem. Okay. So we just call this method the same way, and we add a bool suffix. Okay, and actually it's the same here. Then I'll just paste it directly here. Just paste it. Then let's change the name too. This way we add a boolean. Here I'm just being lazy. Just being lazy. Good. Here, we obviously need to do some external replacements. Okay, here we add the board. Obviously, this part is not aligned. Too many alignments. Let's align this one. Okay, let's compile again. Okay, let's continue. When should you use a lock? When should you use a boolean? For a very simple task, when you only need an on-off switch, use a boolean. But if you are dealing with shared data between threads, then you must add a lock, because the data structure we might use must be thread safe. For example, tmap and turmeric IR actually not thread safe. You can use some thread safe classes. Then let's stay on this map and do a simple test. Okay, let's change this to init for. I'll move it down here. In each for. Okay, so this part is definitely not in it. We need to relast. No, let's check the log again. You can see it's working now. Let's pause, then you will notice there's no problem here at all. Writing this multi-threaded code like this is also fine. Okay, let's stop here for this lesson. Thank you everyone.